Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us the best in her sadness rose, she prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy.
Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is smiling. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man. she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass, so don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright, she's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
Whoops, I hit the button again. I was going to play y'all all the way back through that again. I'm sure you didn't want to hear it again, but you were fixing to get it. So hello, good evening. I hope everybody is doing well and staying warm. I want you to know I have really been praying for y'all. I have been trying to keep you up to date with all the things going on out there with the weather, and giving y'all some good sites that you should be looking at if you're able to. But the main thing is, I hope you're saving on your power, even if it means you have to watch this later. So hello everybody and welcome in. It is January 24th, 2026, and tonight I'm going to talk about a cold case that has come to light and that is heating up again, and they actually come out and talked about today. So this is it's a cold case, but it's kind of brand new and it's serious. Okay, a lot of people don't like drama in their stuff, and this is going to be a no nonsense, set the rules up front case with no drama. There's people actually out there in true crime cases that's just simply what it is, true crime. And we need to get back to true crime. That's what I have my platform for. I never knew when you come here, it was a bunch of craziness. And this is not what we're going to make this into, period. End of story. And if anybody wants to make it that, even when the comments come after this live is over, you're gone. They will be deleted. Because I thought about it, and I'm not being mean, but they're going to be gone. Drama might sell, but there's real lives at stake. And there's real families out there hurting. So just always remember that. Okay? Now, I love y'all being here, and I thank you for being here. I want to say hello to everybody. Hello, Millie. Hello. Thank you for being here, my beautiful mod that's always been here through thick and thin, no matter what. Don't have to always agree. But she's a beautiful, smart, intelligent person. And I thank you, Millie, for always being here. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. You live in Southwest Florida, but I do not know anything about this. Well, welcome in, honey. Thank you for being here. You're fixing to learn about it because I'm going to get out all the things tonight, and I welcome you with open arms. You are welcome here. Thank you. And all of my mods are in blue, just in case you don't know. And in case I don't see anything, I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I don't think anybody here knows about this case, but I researched it, and I'm going to tell it the factual way. Okay? Let them. Hello, welcome. Let them. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Raymond, hello, hello. I hope you got a little peace, and I hope you're staying warm in your neck of the woods. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Everybody's saying hello, hello. Michelle, hello. Good to see you, Michelle Davis. I hope you're staying warm as well. You know, I want to say this. I don't want to mix the two cases at all, but I don't know why I've had Sebastian on my mind all day long. And I swear I thought tomorrow was the 25th. I am way ahead of this game. Lord have mercy. So 1 minute I'm behind, the next minute I'm late, and now I'm way early. But it don't matter. We need to keep all these people out. Just saying. I've just had a lot going on, y'all, so y'all have to excuse me, okay? Just excuse me. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome in. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody before we get started. And please just tell me, drop me a line. Just say, yep, you're good. You're keeping warm. I'm going to get into this in just a second. I'm going to try not to make it that long. Of course, when I say that, it turns into a little bit longer. But I want everybody to make sure your batteries are charged up because of the weather, your phones and everything, because this is going to be crazy. Yeah, but this is January, Michelle. The 25th is tomorrow, but it's January. Am I going crazy? It's January. I'm kind of ahead a little bit, I think. Yeah, tomorrow is the 25th. It is. But it's January, not February. Sebastian went missing February 25th. I know. See, I don't, some of you know I got so much on my mind personally here lately. I'm just losing my mind. That's all. That's all. But it's okay. I got a Sebastian one geared up, and so maybe that can probably wait till tomorrow. But anyway, never mind. We got this. Hey, Daniel. Happy Saturday. What's up, Daniel? Hello, hello. You did the same thing, Millie? I know, right? I know. But it's all good. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. That's right. Well, welcome in. And, a lot of people is probably hunkered down. These things are going around as far as the snowstorm, the ice storm, everywhere. So I just want everybody to be safe and know that I've been thinking about you. I've been praying about you. I made even a playlist and sharing some weather channels and stuff like that, and sharing updates and making little videos and this, that, and the other. I'm so worried about everybody. I'm worried about everybody, but I'm worried about, for different reasons, everybody in Tennessee. So anyway, there's that. But tonight, we're going to be talking about something very serious, and I want to be factual on it. And I want to bring back and talk about a case here in Florida that's heating up again after 20 years. And that's about this girl on my screen. And I'm so tired, y'all. I'm just tired. I'm drained. But I think this case is important. And I think it's going to be important again, even if you don't know about it. And in true crime, we don't need drama. We don't need jokes. And we don't need a bunch of dishonesty. And we don't need to add to, and we don't need to take away from. And these are things that I was thinking of. We just don't need that anymore. We don't need it from anybody. I never wanted any a part of that. I don't want any part of that. But it's gotten a little bit carried away. But right here, I was looking at this case and I was like, my God, we've got to be as truthful as we can. And these people need help. They want help. And these victims, this case right here is heating up and is coming back in the main stream media. And it needs to be talked about. And it needs to be talked about in a respectful manner. And also, her family has not given up after 20 years. You're going to see, I'm talking about Jennifer Joyce Casey. And I will be speaking on facts. And I say that because it's going to be facts as they are known. And they are available. Let them. Thank you, let them. Thank you. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. Never think for a minute or doubt for a minute that I don't. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm so happy you're here, and I'm happy for your support. And I'm so happy you're part of this channel. Thank you so much. But I will be speaking on facts as they are known and they are available. Jennifer has been missing since January 24th to this day. Since she was missing January 24th, 2006. And as you will see her on my screen, she is a beautiful girl. She's from Orlando, Florida, Orange County, i.e. the orange up here and all that I made right there. According to Florida missing poster flyer, let me see if I can drop this. Hold on a minute. Copy the link. Hold on a minute. I'm going to try to do this properly. I'm just going to go slow. You're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to drop this in my link so you'll have it, because I didn't. Hold on. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Shoot. Just bear with me, y'all. Some of you don't know me. It just takes me a minute. I want to drop this. All right. I think I got it. What I want to do is, now where my live go on my phone. I'm going back and forth to my phone to my computer, so y'all know how I don't do that much. But just bear with me. Okay, so we're going to drop this link so you can actually look at that. And then my mods will now have that link, and they can drop the link as I'm talking. Okay. If you don't mind. So that is all of her information on there. So as you'll see, she's very beautiful, and I'm gonna drop that. I dropped that link already. Okay, for you. You should be getting it. If Millie, you might want to drop that in the vertical. I don't know how to drop it only in the link I'm looking at from my computer. Okay, if you don't mind. But Jennifer has been missing since January 24th, 2026. And I'm talking on Jennifer Joyce Casey, who, again, will be speaking the facts on out of Orange County, Orlando, Florida. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, if she was here today, she would be 44 years old. According to this flyer, she has blonde hair, green eyes. She's 5'7" and 130 pounds. She was last seen in Orlando, Florida area in Orange County, and she has a shamrock tattoo the size of a quarter on her left hip. She also has a surgical scar on the inside of her left elbow. Now, these things are important. Jennifer's eyes are green, it says on the flyer, but may appear to be blue. It depends on the clothes she's wearing on the flyer. Okay? They want you to call, if you have information, FDLE Missing Endangered Persons, or Information Clearinghouse. And that number is 1-888-FL-MISSING. That entire number, and it's also on my screen up here in blue, up here under, right here. Okay. It's also strolling across. It's also 1-888-356-4774. Now, if you do it by the internet, you can also go to www.fdle.state.flus. You can leave your tips there or what you know. And if you have any information, please do that. If you have any information concerning the whereabouts of her, please contact FDLE or the Orlando Police Department, and their number is 407-246-2470. That's what they want you to do, and that's what this is about, is getting the correct information out there. And that, my friends, is what I'm putting out as factual. Now, originally led by Orlando Police, FDLE said they took over this investigation in 2022 and have since followed up, and new leads they have followed up on that could help point them in the right direction. We're going to watch a quick video. Let me put this video up. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Let me take this down so I can, because I'll have to, okay, so let me do that. Okay, so share screen. Excuse me. I believe it's this one. All right, first, as you see, we're going to hear her parents talking on this one. Parents' relentless hunt for missing daughter heats up as new technology breathes life into the case. Drew and Joyce Casey work with a AI firm to analyze video of person who parked Jennifer's car in 2006. Now, this was published today, January 24, 2026. It was posted this morning, Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to listen to this and we're going to listen to this, and this is full credit to Fox News Orlando. So let's just listen here.
With my FICO, I get easy access to credit reports, 24/7 monitoring, and alerts for my FICO score changes.
Other credit scores can vary as much as 100 points from your FICO score. So why not go directly to the source that 90% of top lenders use? Want to understand and track your credit health? Get your FICO score for free today at myfico.com/free.
The photos are from another time.
You see them young, and then you see them get older.
And indeed, from another life.
This was the last Christmas.
Oh, thank you, Raymond.
Christmas
Thank you
of
so much.
2005 turned to January of 2006. The lives of Drew and Joyce Casey turned upside down the morning he got a call that Jennifer hadn't shown up for work.
We look for Jennifer pretty much every day.
Full credit to
It
Fox.
seems like an
Thank you,
eternity.
Raymond, so much.
It
You know you're
seems
loved
that
and
this is
appreciated.
Still, we're living in a surreal state.
A search that began with flyers and word of mouth in Jennifer's Orlando neighborhood has led them on a winding road. Her car was found a mile from her home, with her dad saying there may have been a struggle.
All right, there we go.
Surveillance video shows a potential person of interest parking her car and walking away. After years of inaction, they sued Orlando police for the case file.
It exhausts you. It drains you physically, mentally, and emotionally, and it will in time take a toll on your actual physical health.
With FDLE at the helm, there are signs of hope. The Kessies are working with an AI firm to study not just the 16,000-page case file for unsung clues, but also to analyze this video. While it's long been a dead end because the person of interest face isn't visible, the goal is now to match the ear with every publicly available photo database.
An ear is just like an eye or a fingerprint. It's very unique to a person. When we find the ear, then we found the person.
Even more reason for hope is that new DNA samples were tested last year, with investigators closer than ever to identifying several people they'd like to speak to. But her parents are only left to speculate, for now, on what someone could have wanted with their Jennifer.
I personally still think that Jennifer was taken out of the area, state, and maybe country very quickly. Not specifically for Jennifer, but specifically for a female that was alone.
So here they sit, after having been through so much, with the top of the mountain still to reach. To them, it remains a question.
It was found about a mile.
How much more do you have left in you?
Till we die.
Whatever it takes. We have unconditional love for our children and our family. We've said it every time it's asked. There's no quit in us.
This started when they were in their 40s, and now Jennifer's parents are nearing 70. She is frozen in time at 24. Evan Axelbank, Fox 13 News.
So yeah, her car was found about a mile, I believe, down the road. yeah, full credit to Fox News. And then let me take that banner off because we got a lot more to go over. But I got to find the banner. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me turn it off. Thank you for that. So yeah. Yeah, poor parents. Trust me, there is a lot more. We got another one here. Let's look at it real quick. I wasn't going to do it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Just hold on. Look how beautiful. Look how pretty she is. I don't know. Oh, this is the one. I don't know if it's got a video. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. Okay, this one may not have a video. Let's see. Jesus. It might not. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay, hold on a minute.
Finally feel like they are a step closer to some answers.
Yeah.
If she is still alive, Jennifer Kesse would have celebrated her 44th birthday on Tuesday. She was last seen in Orlando in 2006. News Channel 8's Ty Russell spoke with her father about what investigators have told the family.
Yeah, Keith, Stacy, Jennifer's father told me the person of interest list has been narrowed down and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has newly found items that will undergo DNA testing. It's welcome news, but he's not breathing a sigh of relief just yet.
They're getting close to really knowing who possibly may know where Jennifer is or what happened to Jennifer.
This week brought new hope for Drew Kesse, who has worked tirelessly on trying to find his daughter, Jennifer.
We hope it brings Jennifer home. I mean, please.
Jennifer grew up in Odessa and graduated from Gaither High School. She moved to Orlando for college and ended up working there.
Welcome to Smiley's World, Smiley Squad.
Her father suspects foul play.
You asked me, Jennifer's not alive. So what's it all about? She didn't have enemies. She was going about her life. She was just doing what is expected of people.
This father worked with a private investigator, sued the Orlando Police Department for unredacted case files, and collected tips from the public. In 2022, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement picked up the cold case, and that status changed this week.
It is workable, it is being worked, and they believe it's solvable. That's huge.
What keeps you going?
I am a father of a young woman who was taken against her will. And that is my daughter. I don't know how to walk away. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to do less than what I'm doing, and I wish I could do more.
And then I reached out to FDLE to see if the department could provide any additional details, but I have not heard back just yet. In the meantime, a post on X has her listed as missing, and investigators say they are still collecting tips to eventually bring her home.
Yeah, as a dad, I can empathize with this feeling. You never want to give up. You just always hold out hope. How soon do you think that he might get some answers?
Yeah, I asked him that question, and Drew Kesse is not sure, quite frankly. He says, unfortunately, he has been down this road before, but this is the first time in years he has a sign of real hope because of FDLE. He also would like people to continue sending in tips to state law enforcement officers, especially now that the case is active.
This will be a huge story.
Oh, yes.
I hope this will be a great turnout. All right, thank you, Ty.
You're welcome.
The 2024 hurricane.
Okay, full credit to WFLA Orlando on that one. So this news is just coming out today. Today marks 20 years since she's been gone. It marks 20 years since she's been gone. And things are starting to heat up again. Things are starting to get back out in the mainstream media. And so, again, for those just coming in, she was last seen in the Orlando, Florida area in Orange County, and she has a shamrock tattoo the size of a quarter on her left hip. She has a surgical scar on the inside of her left elbow. And again, I think those are important. FDLE has listed her as missing and endangered. And if you think you know anything, they want you to call the 1-888-356-4774. And if you have any information concerning her whereabouts, you can also call the Orlando Police Department at 407-246-2470. And they, put this out there again today. They said it was heating back up, and they have since, FDLE, since they took over, they have followed up on leads, and they are continuing to do so. Now, 2 days after they found her car, it was found abandoned about 2 miles away from her apartment. Let me look at something here. Okay, so that's the same thing I got here. I just wanted to make sure. I'm going to try to get into this and read it. Y'all know how my eyes are, at least some of you do. But I'm going to put it in the chat in just a second, and you can have at it. I will drop the link. I'm sure my mods will drop the link before I do, but I'm going to. And we're going to credit this to... hell, I think I got it up here. Oh, that's who I need to do. Hold on. Let me just do this. Because, Lord, honey, we wouldn't want nobody to say Smiley wasn't telling the truth. Okay. Anyway, some people just don't know. All right. So, there's that. Did I save it? Okay. So, we're going to show this. Okay. And everything is fair use. Uh-oh. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to try to. All right, hold on. I'm going to drop this. Well, hold on. First, I got to copy it. Shit. All right, copy. And I'm going to drop it. That way my mods will have it too. And... okay, so if you want to go there, but we're going to look at it on screen together. Let me share my screen. Full credit FDLE. Law enforcement agents, in case somebody wants to come back when they get butt hurt and say, Smiley's biased and she don't tell the truth. So let's carry on. Okay, so from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, this was just put out today, January 24th, 2026, Orlando, Florida. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which is FDLE, for those who don't know, continues actively to investigate the 2006 disappearance of Jennifer Casey, who was last seen leaving her home in Orlando 20 years ago today. Our agents are methodically pursuing leads, analyzing evidence, and conducting interviews related to the case, said FDLE Orlando Special Agent in Charge Philip Williams. Our primary focus is finding Jennifer and bringing justice in this case. On January 24th, 2006, Jennifer was reported missing from her apartment complex on Conroy Road in South Orlando. 2 days later, on January 26, 2006, her vehicle was found abandoned a mile away from her apartment. She has not been found. She was 24 years old at the time of her disappearance. FDLE assumed the missing person investigation, so they took over this investigation in 2022. Since then, agents have followed up on every new lead and gathered additional information that may help locate her. FDLE has conducted more than 115 interviews, reviewed tens of thousands of documents and pieces of evidence from the Orlando Police Department, and spent thousands of hours re-examining the previous investigation. Jennifer has a quarter-size shamrock tattoo on her left hip and a surgical scar on the inside of her left elbow. She also she has a defined cleft chin. We would like to thank the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, specifically Special Agent Spears and McNair of the Cold Case Missing Persons Division for their expertise, hard work, and dedication to finding Florida's long-term missing persons, said Drew Joyce Casey. They have brought hope to our family that our daughter Jennifer Casey may still be found and brought home. They have our full support and gratitude. We are also asking the public to help. Even a small piece of information may be helpful. We are doing everything we can to help bring answers to Jennifer's parents and loved ones, says Williams. If you have any information about Jennifer Casey's disappearance, please call the FDLE Orlando office at 407-245-0888 or email OROC cold case tips at fdle.state.fl.us. For further information, contact FDLE Office of Public Information. And you can do that by info at fdle.state.fl.us. So, there is that. Oops. That's the same thing. I had it up twice. Okay. So that is coming from them. Let me turn that off. That is coming from them. And let me see what y'all are saying real quick. Welcome in, everybody. Everybody that's new here, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. And this case is definitely heating up. It's an important case. I feel all these cases are important, but I think this is an important case that we get out, the truth, no drama, no games. They want her found, and it's serious. It's important. People is looking for her. They've never given up on her. This cold case is reopened. It's heating up. It's getting back in the mainstream media. And, so I dropped those links. Now, they have this video surveillance from the area. This car was found, and it showed up an unidentified person of interest who parked her car and walked away. But the person's face was not identifiable due to the camera angle, and there was an obstruction. Sometimes it was described as being blocked by fencing or some type of visual interference. Now, what I'm going to have to do here, I don't know if this is the same video, so let me just see. Make sure. I don't think it is. What I'm going to have to do here, y'all just bear with me because this is a new case, and we're going to do, I got to do something to get it up here where y'all can actually see it. Okay. Hold on just a minute. This is also, though, going to be okay. This is also going to be Fox 35 Orlando. And this is just what I was telling y'all. I'm going to put the CC on. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't share it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Ho. This may be the same one, but we're going to play it again for those just coming in. Hold on. I forgot to share my screen. Hold on. Okay.
Done this over the years now.
Countless.
Yeah.
Countless.
I think we will find Jennifer. I truly, in my heart, believe that we will.
Over 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Easily over 1,000.
We're really no closer to knowing exactly what happened to Jennifer. And I think that that is the most distressing.
And we'll do countless more until we have an answer.
Jennifer Kesse disappeared without a trace, leaving nothing behind.
Actually,
but
my bad.
questions.
This is
Jennifer Kesse vanished from in or around her Orlando apartment complex on January 24th, 2006.
This is Fox,
2
y'all.
decades
My
ago.
bad.
Her disappearance stumped investigators for years. The case went
Stay
cold.
with it.
Heart-wrenching. It remains surreal.
All we want is to know where Jennifer is.
Today, Conroy Road is busy as ever. Shoppers, tourists, traffic, a neighborhood in constant motion, even as the memory here of Jennifer Kesse remains frozen in time. Jennifer Kesse disappeared on January 24th,
Sorry, Raymond, that was my bad.
2006. The 24-year-old last seen at Mosaic at Millennia, the condo complex she'd moved into just 2 months before.
I miss her. I miss her every single day.
She vanished quite literally without a trace. No blood, no witnesses, no clues. At least at first. Soon, a ditched car.
And I think that's when we all just knew, like, this is not good. Something's really wrong here.
A suspect on surveillance. Whoever did this, are they the luckiest criminal alive? Then years of silence, struggles, a case gone cold.
There's got to be someone out there that knows what happened.
And a family who's never given up.
And ultimately, as her father, it is my responsibility to find her, hands down. Hands down. No one else's responsibility.
What went wrong on that January day? Should this cold case have already been cracked? And 20 years later, is there any hope left to find Jennifer Kesse? We're on our way to Bradenton to talk to Drew and Joyce Kesse. That's Jennifer's parents. 20 years now, they've been searching for their daughter. Do you have pictures of Jen in here?
Do we have pictures? Yeah.
These are some pictures from Santa. She was small, so small. We still have that. Oh my God.
How old was she attending that?
1. 1982. 1.
Yeah. Leads come in. I just had a lead come into me yesterday. A very serious lead came into me yesterday. They still keep coming. They've never stopped. And we thank everyone. One of these days is going to be real.
20 years now, as you sit down and you think about reliving some of these things again, how has that changed?
Well, I'll take this one. It's changed us tremendously as people, but I remain hopeful for an answer. Not hopeful that we'll find Jennifer alive, because statistically we won't. But
okay, they remain hopeful, but they know statistically that they may not find her alive. But they still hope that they will, and they still have not given up. You know, and you should never give up. They still have their strength, their hope. And regardless, absolutely, miracles do happen. But I want you to listen to what she says. It's very heartbreaking.
finding Jennifer is the most important goal that we have.
Yeah, I think everything in life changed. Everything, except for, save the fact that we haven't found Jennifer yet. And from the second we knew she was taken till this second, that has not changed. And the focus has always been, we still need to find Jennifer. That has never waned. It will never wane. It's not going to go away. But everything else in life, absolutely.
You know, it's just, it's so much more than not having Jen in our life. And that's hard. Very, very hard. We have 2 granddaughters. They have helped fill the hole somewhat. but it's still, every day is a challenge. You don't know from one day to the next how you're going to feel. Some days, you know, I'm completely comfortable talking about Jen, and other days, like, I can't because I'm just too raw.
The grandkids, I know you said in some ways they remind you of Jen.
Yes, they do. And mannerisms and traits that are hereditary, it's really kind of remarkable. And that, honestly, is kind of what was the turning point. Our oldest is 10. So for the first 10 years, we had holes in our hearts that were filled with the arrival of our first granddaughter. Not completely, but it is kind of warming that they remind us of Jen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they've never met her.
Weddings, baby showers, funerals, so much that Jennifer has missed these 20 years, ever since January 24th, 2006. 20 years ago, it wasn't a cold case. It was breaking news. And it wasn't just the Kessies who knew something was wrong. For the journalists covering it at the time, the story felt different almost immediately.
Fox 35 assignment test.
So 2006, I would have been still anchoring the morning show back then.
January 24th, 2006, a Tuesday in the Fox 35 newsroom.
This story came to light, I think, a way a lot of missing persons stories do. You know, it was a beautiful young girl. A lot of mystery surrounding the circumstances in which she disappeared. It didn't seem to make sense.
So it was 10:15, 10:20 in the morning, and a friend of mine called that worked with Jennifer and said, you know, Jen didn't show up today. Is everything okay? It's unlike her. She had a meeting. And I'm like, everything's fine as far as I know. Let me give her a call and I'll give you a call right back. And they hung the phone up and called Jennifer. And it was the first time her phone went directly to voicemail. She got the phone given to her when she was 16 years old and got the car for communication purposes.
The one rule.
And the one rule was always, if your mother or father calls, you pick it up. If you don't pick it up, there's hell to pay, period. Because we want to talk to you if we're calling you. And that day, it didn't ring 4 times. It went directly into voicemail. Never happened before. I knew something was wrong right there, period. I hung the phone up, called her, said, we can't find Jen, we're out of here.
And I was up in Tampa.
I went up and picked her up and we headed out.
Working, and I remember I was at the Staples store printing information because I was going to be presenting a seminar for nurses and social workers. And I was honestly like in shock. Like someone hit me with a bulldozer because I should be the cartoon character that bounces right back up, and I'm not. We knew this was not typical for Jen's behavior. Her colleagues, her boss at work knew it. She did a 2-year internship there. She was going to be running like 10 minutes late. She called them. That's how responsible.
Inside Jennifer's condo, a damp towel, pajamas, signs of Jennifer getting up and getting ready for work, but no signs of a struggle. No.
It was not like her. They knew it was not like her. She already did an intern for 2 years. You know, even her bosses or the people she worked for or interned for, they knew it was not like her. It was just not normal. It was out of the norm. You know, you used to get, you don't call in for 3 days, you're fired. Well, it's a good thing nowadays people don't just ignore that. Thank goodness people are starting to take note, and they're, you know, that's why you got to have integrity, and that's why you got to do things you say that you're going to do. It's as simple as that. She was an adult. Things happen to adults. She was a young adult, but what happened to her? We don't know, or we wouldn't be here 20 years later. But this case is starting to heat up. And this is why you must take notice, pay attention, be accountable. This is why cases don't need drama. It don't need, if you're in drama, be in drama. Okay? We need to start getting more serious around these issues. So they're bringing these in now 20 years later from a cold case. Florida law enforcement has took over in 22, but they're still working with Orlando Police Department, and it's serious. And I want my people to be serious about it. If we talk about it and anything, or I'm telling my mods now, even if it's just in a chat, delete it. Delete the smart aleck conversations. Period. Just delete it. And if you don't know how to delete it, get with me or Millie and we'll tell you how. There's no sense in this anymore. And I'm very serious. I don't even want to add a pun intended. I'm very serious about this.
Blood, nothing other than a few things missing. Keys, purse.
Well, I think I just hit the wrong thing. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I think I'm going to have to start it over. Just hold on.
Be twice as prepared for your day ahead. Wake up with Brooks and Jessica, your morning meteorologists on Good Day Orlando, 4 to 10 a.m.
There's got to be someone out there that knows what happened.
And a family who's never given up.
And ultimately, as her father, it is my responsibility to find her, hands down. Hands down. No one else's responsibility.
What went wrong on that January day? Should this cold case have already been cracked? And 20 years later, is there any hope left to find Jennifer Kesse?
And that honestly is kind of what was the turning point. Our oldest is
We're going
10.
to leave it there so I don't be messing up no
So
buttons, okay?
for the first 10 years, we had holes in our hearts that were filled with the arrival of our first granddaughter. Not completely, but it is kind of warming that they remind us of Jen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they've never met her.
Weddings, baby showers, funerals, so much that Jennifer has missed these 20 years, ever since January 24th, 2006. 20 years ago, it wasn't a cold case. It was breaking news. And it wasn't just the Kessies who knew something was wrong. For the journalists covering it at the time, the story felt different almost immediately.
Fox 35 assignment test.
So 2006, I would have been still anchoring the morning show back then.
January 24th, 2006, a Tuesday in the Fox 35 newsroom.
This story came to light, I think, a way a lot of missing persons stories do. You know, it was a beautiful young girl. A lot of mystery surrounding the circumstances in which she disappeared. It didn't seem to make sense.
So it was 10:15, 10:20 in the morning, and a friend of mine called that worked with Jennifer and said, you know, Jen didn't show up today. Is everything okay? It's unlike her. She had a meeting. And I'm like, everything's fine as far as I know. Let me give her a call and I'll give you a call right back. And they hung the phone up and called Jennifer. And it was the first time her phone went directly to voicemail. She got the phone given to her when she was 16 years old and got the car for communication purposes.
The one rule.
And the one rule was always, if your mother or father calls, you pick it up. If you don't pick it up, there's hell to pay, period. Because we want to talk to you if we're calling you. And that day, it didn't ring 4 times. It went directly into voicemail. Never happened before. I knew something was wrong right there. Period. I hung the phone up, called her, said, we can't find Jen. We're out of here.
And I was up in Tampa.
I went up and picked her up and we headed out.
Working. And I remember I was at the Staples store printing information because I was going to be presenting a seminar for nurses and social workers. And I was honestly like in shock. Like someone hit me with a bulldozer because I should be the cartoon character that bounces right back up, and I'm not. We knew this was not typical for Jen's behavior. Her colleagues, her boss at work knew it. She did a 2-year internship there. She was going to be running like 10 minutes late. She called them. That's how responsible.
Inside Jennifer's condo, a damp towel, pajamas, signs of Jennifer getting up and getting ready for work, but no signs of a struggle. No blood, nothing other than a few things missing: keys, purse, iPod, and Jennifer's car gone from the parking lot.
It was called the Mosaic, which is down in the Malt Millennia area. And it was a complex that used to be apartments, and they were transferring them over to condos. And there were a lot of construction workers there. Always construction workers around, converting them from the apartments to the condos. And Jennifer would talk about how uncomfortable she was sometimes with some of the construction workers.
She just kept telling us, they're not saying anything, Dad, but they just stop and they just look. But if they say anything, we need to know. And the management here needs to know. So nothing was ever verbally, catcalled or what have you. But she did make us aware that she was uneasy when she did some walking to the car and around the complex, that if there was workers there, they inevitably always just stopped and stared.
20 years now, and what still stands out to you about that day?
Disbelief.
This is not to put down law enforcement, because we are behind law enforcement. It still strikes me to this day the nonchalantness of the response of law enforcement. It just blew our minds. Well, she had a fight with her boyfriend, she'll be back, and turn around and walk out. That's just not
acceptable.
It's just not the way it should be. You just lose so much time. I mean, it's minutes. I can sit here, it's minutes that seconds, every second counts at that moment. And when someone just brushes you to the side and you know it's not right.
So it was Jennifer's younger brother, Logan, who questioned the construction workers he saw here that day, but found out nothing. And Jennifer's friends and sorority sisters started passing out flyers with her picture, just the beginning of the Kessies' firsthand fight to find their daughter.
I'll never forget them saying to us, we don't want to be the parents that are coming back to you on the anniversary of the day she was missing, year after year after year. And I just remember how much that struck me. At the time, I was a mother. I had a 1-year-old daughter. And I just thought the horror of that, to just not know where your child is, and just the horror of thinking the absolute worst, that something terrible had happened to her, that someone had abducted her and was holding her hostage, or you know, put her in a human trafficking ring, or murdered her. I mean, they had no idea what happened to this beautiful girl. And I don't know how you can't connect with somebody like that who's going through such a struggle. As a parent, you just really, you feel their pain. And they were just beautiful people.
Behind the scenes, investigators were racing the clock with few clues and enormous public pressure. Decisions made in those first hours and days would shape this case for decades.
In 2006, I was a member of the Orlando Police Department and not connected to the actual investigation, but I was a member of the team at that time.
And today I'm proud to announce the appointment of Police Chief Orlando Rolon as the 39th Chief of the Orlando Police Department.
Jennifer Kessie had already been missing for almost 13 years by the time Orlando Rolon was sworn in as chief of the Orlando Police Department.
When I became chief, it was during one of the periods when the family also made a request for the records to be released to them.
Time to get every resource available, and we feel that we have the right to, and honestly, by law, we do have the right. Public records are exactly that, public records.
At that time, I made the decision to have our investigators look at the case one more time for a 6-month period, to heavily focus on the case to see if anything would surface that would preclude us from releasing any of the records. And at the conclusion of that, we determined that it was in the best interest for us to release the records as requested to the family members.
By then, the case had long gone cold. In fact, the Kessies say they would find essentially a 7-year gap in the case files. But the police response frustrated them from the very beginning.
Unfortunately, as we find out, first 48 hours are the most important. Heck yeah, they are. Heck yeah, first 24. Honestly.
What do you think was the biggest missed opportunity in those first 24, 48 hours that you think could have made a difference in maybe finding Jen in that time?
Yeah.
I'll say, we had plastered her complex the night of her abduction with flyers, and it was just Jen's picture, her car, and my cell phone number was on the original flyers because the police said it wasn't, she'll be back with her boyfriend. But movers and shakers that we were, and Jennifer's friends, by rush hour that day that she didn't show up for work, we already had people at pivotal street corners handing out flyers. Every car, every door in her condo complex was plastered with her picture. Kind of interesting to note that the next day, vast majority of the workers were not there. Did they have a role in this? Did they see anything? We will never know. And that's a bitter pill.
So it was a couple days later when the car was found, and I think that's when we all just knew, like, this is not good. Something's really wrong here.
It's barely a mile between Mosaic at Millennia and Huntington on the Green, an apartment complex just across South John Young Parkway, where Conroy Road turns into Americana Boulevard. Here, investigators found Jennifer's black Chevy Malibu.
It was 20-year-old film and an outdoor camera. above a pool house.
Yeah. So,
They just kept taping over and over it.
Surveillance video released weeks later shows the car pull in and park. Then the driver sits inside. Doing what? Wiping it down? The car was nearly spotless when police got it. After 32 seconds, the driver gets out and walks away. The security camera captured still images every few seconds. This was 2006, remember? And in every image, the person's face is blocked. Did they kidnap Jennifer? Did they just ditch the car? We don't know. They've never been questioned, found, or even identified.
Luckiest criminal alive to have footage parking her car, backing out, parking it meticulously, wiping the car down, 32 seconds, and he walks away.
Whoever did this, are they the luckiest criminal alive?
It is. Imagine taking steps, and every time you take the steps, it coincided with the frames that were captured that unfortunately did not yield what was in between two particular posts on a fence that prevented someone from being able to see it. Today, that would be much different. Real time, the pixels that are the cameras are able to capture footage on how frequent those frames get captured. It's completely different. And even going as far as other cameras in the surrounding areas. Pretty much if you walk from here to the next corner, the likelihood is that you probably were recorded on multiple devices along the way. And that's the expectation now just about anywhere. But in this case, it was one camera in one location.
In 2018, the Kessies sued Orlando Police Department and Chief Orlando Rolone for access to the records in Jennifer's case file.
I received both the thumb drive first and then the external hard drive.
Was that a circumstance or something that you had kind of dealt with before? It seems like a pretty unique kind of set of circumstances.
It was unique. It was something unprecedented. It was not something that you would normally hear about when it came to a law enforcement agency having control of a case and willing to release it. But the decision also was not made in a vacuum, meaning I consulted, of course, with the city leadership, with our legal staff, with our investigators. And after hearing everything, I had the opportunity to make that decision. And my decision basically was to go ahead and release those records to the family.
Nothing was in chronological
Like they
order.
grew 16,000 pages on the floor and picked them up one by one, scanned them, and gave them to us. We had a team.
So they had to sue to get those records, which their argument was also they were public records. And, you know, anyway, they got the records, which I'm glad that they did. But they kept pushing and they kept pushing and they kept pushing. And I'm just really glad that they did get the records. But they do appreciate everything that law enforcement has done. And now they're actually getting somewhere. Things are heating up. And Jennifer's case is coming back. Media's getting a hold of it. It's coming back the right way. And it's getting out there. I think this is very important. Just saying.
Step forward, we have a team of 13 retired detectives, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, Tampa, Orlando, FDLE, and they took on the files, and it took them about 2 years, really, of going through it, and they got to a point where they said, well, we have actionable items, but we need law enforcement agency now because we're not moving forward on it.
The case files showed a latent footprint.
Wait, and I want y'all to hear that. Again, I'm doing this case with respect, but I want you to hear, okay? At least hear how Florida handles things. It took them 2 years, even after somebody else took over. Okay? See, they got their egos out of the way. I think it's important to know these things. And I'm so glad this is coming back to the forefront.
Belonging to Jennifer inside the car, a large boot print near the gas pedal, and signs of what police thought might have been a person pushed across the hood of Kessie's car. Do you have a theory on why it's been 20 years and nothing's been solved, no one's come forward?
Every scenario that has been talked about, I think, is a realistic situation that cannot be excluded or omitted from a possibility. But you have to have the evidence. Basically, is what you need in order to prove or disprove whether something happened. And right now, that evidence is inconclusive.
I think about how hard Drew and Joyce and Logan worked to try to find her. In our parking lot, they had shrink wrapped this SUV with Jen's picture missing. They made these little business cards that they gave to all of us in the station that I kept in my drawer for 20 years. It's just heartbreaking. And it's so hard to understand the pain that they wake up with. I did an interview with Drew years ago, and it broke my heart. And I said, Drew, what has this done to your faith? And he told me that he really struggles because he feels angry with God. Why would God do this? And he just talked about how that was a huge struggle for him, that he just doesn't understand. They just need closure. They need something.
For months after she vanished, Jennifer's face was everywhere in Orlando, on the Kessie's SUV, on city buses, on posters. But over time, posters come down, memories fade, and life gets back to normal for everyone except the Kessies.
I've always said I have two levels. I have two brains going on all the time. One is always Jennifer, always, always, always. And then the other is, well, you have to live in this world and you have to exist and you have to
be part of
keep your mind so you can do the things that your daughter needs you to do.
You say you're still getting tips.
I got a tip yesterday from, I could see a picture and he seems to be a teenager and he's telling us the name of his father. And he's like, you just need to check him out. He's a bad man and you need to check him out. He lives here. He used to own there. They've never stopped. And we thank everyone. One of these days it's going to be real.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement took over the case in November 2022. For a while, not much changed. But in the spring of 2025, in time for Jennifer's birthday, FDLE announced the case is no longer cold.
With Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Jennifer has finally gotten her opportunity, and they've told us that.
Thanks to new DNA evidence, they have new persons of interest, and they could have more. They're using AI to zoom into this piece of video.
And unfortunately, as we all have come to find out, every 3 seconds it was a security camera, so it took a picture every 3 seconds, and every 3 seconds that person is behind a gate post.
But the person's ear could be the key now. Investigators are using AI to zoom in and identify not the face, but the ear of the suspect. They hope that could narrow down the search.
They deserve that. They deserve something. They deserve to know. I have joy for them and that they have a grandchildren now, and that Logan has brought so much joy to their lives with his family, and so I know that brings them a lot of happiness, but nothing I think would be bring more closure for them than to know where's Jen.
Drew and I were 48 when Jen was abducted, and Jennifer turned 44 in May. So when you put it into perspective like that, I think it's a little bit more frightening.
We're going to find her.
Yeah, and hopefully...
Hands down, we're going to find her.
If you have any information that could help find Jennifer Kesse, call or email the Florida Department of Law Enforcement at the contact information on your screen.
Woo! How sad. How sad. Man, I tell you what. And you never know what cases are out there that's going to just, boom, heat back up. Heat back up. Uh-oh. I was going to show that. I was going to show it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Heat back up. You just never know. You just never know. Right? So for the ones coming in, just a quick recap. Jennifer Kesse was described as, and is described as, by FDLE, a white female, blonde hair, green eyes, about 5'7", and around 130 pounds at the time she went missing. They say on her flyer, her eyes could turn blue depending on what she was wearing. She was reported missing January 24th, 2006, from her apartment complex on Conroy Road in South Orlando. Then, on January 26, 2006, her vehicle was found abandoned about a mile from her apartment. They did get video surveillance from the area, and that's where the car was found. And it captured an unidentified person, a person of interest, parking the vehicle, walking away, but the person's face was not clearly identifiable by the footage. However, as you just saw, hey Choo-Chee, as you just saw and you just heard, they're doing some AI work and some different things they're plugging in that they're looking at ears, of all things. Who would have thunk it? Right? They do have new DNA out there. They have tips still coming in, and they are still following those. FDLE says it took over the case in 2022, and it's still over the case today. January 2024. I always get mixed up with my numbers. January 24, 2026, FDLE issued a public update, and that was just today, this morning, noting it has now been 20 years since Jennifer disappeared, and the investigation is still ongoing. What we do not know, what they have not put out in the public, is who that person is. who they suspect that person is, if they suspect it's anybody, or what exactly happened to Jennifer. There has been no arrest, nothing announced like that, and there is no confirmed resolution to this. Not yet, anyway, but it is heating up. And if you have any credible information, share it with law enforcement. God, please don't bring it to YouTube. Not in a comment section, none of that. The official missing person flyer remains available through the FDLE, which we shared that. I personally dropped it myself in this live. Jennifer Kesse mattered in 2006, and she matters now. If you're just joining this live, this is a facts only, and I'll keep updating it as verified information comes in that I hear about. Because, see, I don't like all the drama. And as I was sitting here doing the weather today, as I was sitting here going through worrying about other things and crisis going on in my own life and in my family's life and things that really matter in life, I'm just sitting here shaking my head. Why all this drama is going on in these cases and why it continues to be allowed and ongoing by anyone and everyone. Then I saw this and I'm like, I'm going to do this. This too is in my state, but it's going to be factual as we know it, and as Florida Law Department and reputable people put it out. And things I definitely can be that can be verified, and definitely no matter what it means. And y'all can take that any way you want to. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this live because this is not a rant live. This is Jennifer needs to be found, and it's heating up. And if you have any information, you can send it to me. But before you send me, don't send me any information like that. Just send me if something's come out. That's all I'm asking. Send it to the proper authorities if you have any information. 407-247-2470. But all the links are dropped in here. And I appreciate you being here. I love you. Thank you all. And I will see you in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Y'all have a great night. I'll see you when I see you. Stay safe in these storms, and I'll continue to keep little posts, keep you updated on the weather and things like that. Stay in if you don't have to be out. Y'all have a great night.